Hey, Decathlon Gamer, welcome back to Tennis Manager 24, episode number 10. As I've pushed forward a handful of days, all four of our athletes have a tournament, and for the first time in, I don't know, ages, Nguyen has gone the deepest. Havda, round of 32, first round exit. She's the 2 seed. We just cannot get her going anywhere. It's a W25. She's in the top 500 of the rankings and just cannot get a win for the life of her. Montgomery at least gets to the second round and gets a better payout as a result. Pro 70. King, 200 level tournament, out in the round of 16. A little bit early for her standards, but she's not going to win them all. And Nguyen out in the round of 16 actually as well, but at least she finally is getting somewhere. She's qualifying for a tournament and she's getting beyond the first round. Her form is picking up. Montgomery's latest performance, which has been decent, has seen her just crack the top 100 for the first time. Our first player to do so. She instantly has asked for a better cut of her prize winnings. Right now we only get a third of that. To keep her happy, we need to reduce it by 4%, which isn't a ton, but it certainly adds up over time. A 2% reduction is going to make her a little upset, but she'll be a little more content with that, and that's not going to hurt us quite as bad. I don't want to mess with her morale, but we need the money so bad. I accepted a wild card for a 300 level junior, Indian Wells. Not a great draw. It's going to be difficult to get past the second round in this one. It was difficult to get past the first, but we do. Jovic with the upset in that first round over Hamilton gives us a chance, but it's not going to be easy to get out of the second round in this one. Jovic is perfect 2-0 against us all time as we lose this one and lose it quite comfortably. 1-6, 3-6. We only took 39% of the points. Montgomery with a deep run in a Pro 100 will see a final. It was another loss in the final, but again, a finals run is a deep run, pays better, builds form. 6K on the payout as well, now at 31%. Nguyen, her development this last week, not good, but it was prep for tournament, 5% gained. King, World Tour. First attempt, she lost that only match. It was a qualifier. But in the juniors, she's up from 30th to 16th in the rankings now with nearly 800 points and 18,000. So her winnings is improving. It is getting better. 8 tournaments. She won 3 of them and won 80% of her matches through the period. Havda, just 3 matches won in 7 tournaments. It's a struggle to get her going anywhere. That's just 15 points. And we're talking about really, really low level stuff. And she can't hardly buy a win. She's getting out-earned by King right now. Montgomery, from 112 into the top 100. Not a ton of points earned there, but 117,000 is her payout. That's huge. Gosh, if we could just get 2 athletes to do that. 2. Consistently, if she can just stay consistent, hover about where she's at, she's earning us a decent amount of cash. If we can get somebody else to join, if Havda's the one who should be there. If Havda could, do half of that, an extra 60K every couple months, hello, huge difference maker. She hasn't won a single tournament, but she made 2 finals. She's got an improved win rate. Hopefully Montgomery's getting there. And Nguyen, 1 point. 1 win. But she did have qualifiers in the stretch. It did help her. She was injured for a while. She made 4,000. Our number 2 earner was Martina King. The kid. Teenager. She's a teenager. She's not a kid. The not yet adult, though. Business Center is definitely earning more than before. 28,000 now. It's harder to overcome that, but the tournaments come in at number 2. You can see we still lost 40,000 on the month, but it wasn't 60 or 65. If we can cut it down to 40 monthly, it's not good, but it is better than where we were for a very good chunk of last year, like half of last year. I don't remember accepting another 300 level invite, but apparently I did because King is a wild card and she's got a difficult Hikari Yamamoto second round potential matchup if we can get past Jovic, who just beat us in the last tournament. She's been perfect against us. We have yet to beat her, and that continues to be the case. Jovic is definitely a step above us. I don't know why we were even in this tournament. I do not remember accepting it. Just the one. That's problematic. We got a stomach bug, gastroenteritis hitting the entire squad. We are shutting everything down for 4 weeks. Are you freaking kidding me? That is a month of complete downtime. That's incredibly cruel. The whole squad. So close to an attribute point gained. Focus for Nagunye, 99.1%. Anytime now, we are going to finally have a point of development after nearly a year and a half with these athletes in one of the other 3. The new staff definitely making a difference, though. I mean, we've gone from 1% gains, 1 to 2% gains to 5 to 9% gains on the focused training. It's not huge, but it is going to slowly have an impact and make them better. But clearly, the biggest factor right now is form, much more than anything else. King, +1 to footwork and balance. After 2 close victories, this 200 level tournament is now into the quarters, and our first seeded opponent, King's not having a great tournament at this point. And she has lost in the quarterfinals in 3 sets, taking 48% of the points, a -6 on points overall, +1 on winners, -4 on unforced errors, and -3 on forced errors. By the way, I got that message about the stomach issue, and nobody has been suffering from it. So, I don't know. Maybe it was a staff member? Montgomery is suffering. She has discomfort right now, but it's shoulder tendonitis and left ankle and right knee. She's got pain. Okay, she's got pain in the shoulder. She's been recovering from that for a little over a week. She's got tendonitis in the right knee, and she's got pain in the left ankle. She is suffering from a few things right now. We have recovered her morale. Hovda is getting better, though she's still upset, and form's still terrible for Hovda and Montgomery, but Nagunye is and has been weak for a long time. I can't seem to get it that last little bit for any of them. And morale for King has dropped for the first time with her recent string of not deep runs. 300 level tournament, and we don't even get seeded. And again, I don't know how we are in so many 300 level tournaments, because I did not put us in this many. I was doing mostly 200s. I did sign us up for a couple 300s, but a lot of these have been wild cards. I think this is the one that I signed up for along the way. Bad timing on that, though, as we are in over our heads at the moment, and we have an incredibly tough first, second, and or third round match. All of them are going to be tough, and it's Jovic who's beat us 3 times. Make that 4 in a row. And Montgomery out in the quarters of a 115 tournament. That's an okay run. That should be building form. Like, it's not going to make you have top form, but it should stop you from having awful form. Getting to the third round of tournament after tournament should build form. 2 wins and a loss is a good week for most players. And there it is, a point of focus for Nagunye. She got that last 0.9% that she needed, and it put her over the top. We have developed an athlete besides King. This April did not look as bad as last April, but it did not look good. That form, we know what the issue is, and I've put so much micromanagement training sessions into trying to develop form, and they're not bottom of the barrel 0 form like we were a year ago, where we were getting almost nothing in tournaments. But it's still only 11,000. We had a couple injuries. It was a factor. I try, and I just cannot seem to get form into these athletes. And as long as they continue to massively underperform, outside of Montgomery, who's just playing in an average sort of way. As long as Havda does almost nothing and Nagunye does almost nothing and lose when they should be winning, it's hurting that bottom line. Minus 75,000, and it's about to pass the 100K threshold. Big news though, Montgomery has qualified for the qualifier. No. Actually, not the qualifier. This is straight tournament proper. Her rank, breaking the top 100, she's gotten straight into the first round of the French Open. Australian, she had to go through qualifiers and got to the second qualifying round, and that was a very healthy payout. That's going to provide us a good amount of money, even if she loses in the first round. Second round, 200 level, and that was awfully close to getting beat, but we do come away with a victory, just +5 on winners. Continuing on, we need a good tournament here to start building the morale back and to keep the form high. I need to stay away from 300s for a while. Even the 200s are not going terribly well. We're not winning anywhere near the rate we were a year ago, but we did step up the competition level, and the payout certainly has gotten better this year than last year. She's second biggest earner right now, which is scary. And she's still developing. I'm nervous about how things are going at this moment. Havda also hanging out, doing okay in her tournament right now. Physical condition is a little weak. Morale is really hurting Havda. Quarterfinal, definitely winnable, as is the semis. Havda at least made the quarters in her tournament. She got knocked out there, but that's the best run she's had all year. King, well, we're into the final, and it's an extremely winnable one. Demotivated is how we start this one, with a thrilled opponent, and we literally take the first point of the day and don't even make an attempt. We just serve it and stand there and go, what can you do? And we do it again. This is a terrible start. You could do it? No reaction. She's in trouble in this one. We're down 2 games already, and we absolutely need to make sure we can talk to her again soon. She's stressed now. Other than having confidence, nothing is good. She is enthusiastic now. It's the stress and it's the motivation that she lacks. 5 games 4 though here in this opening set, and she does have a set point.
Second service.
She should be winning comfortably. She's not winning comfortably. We know why, but can she step it up? She does. She takes the first set. Okay, so we know it's stress and motivation. Guess you're trampling on it. Keep it up. You're making us dream. It's emotion. At least that's a boost. That is something.
Second set.
We're still going to be looking for that next occasion, because we know it's impacting her play, though. But not shutting her down. She's doing just enough. 2 games all here early on. Still can't talk to her. 4 games 3. And yes, now we can. Motivate. And her emotion drops. She's still demotivated. Like, how? I've got a 20 for a rating, and I just made her situation worse.
Out. 15 low.
But it is 5 games 3. It looks like she's going to win despite having the wrong mental attitude today. There you go. She got it. She does win. She needed it. She needed it bad. Time for an athlete check-in. Morale's good for 2. Okay for 3. Weak on the 4th. Things are mostly good there. Havda, a little discomfort in her right thigh. But it looks like it's going to be a quick, easy one in terms of satisfaction. Better than last season. I haven't gone into training yet. I won't bother with that just now. But we're looking at still 1.5 stars for Martina King. She's now looking in the 3 to 4 star potential, according to scouts. But we know that she does have the potential to go further. She lost a couple points here. Last time I checked, she had 1 at 1. She's down to or she's up to 4 of them, and timing doesn't even have a bonus, but she does have a couple 3s, and she's still got her 2s elsewhere, but she also is down to a couple 1s here. So she did lose some in terms of form. It's not at 100%, but it is very good. She's still just a 1 for fame, by the way. Looking at her summary, her court coverage is very good, as she's definitely better at net play and consistency. Comparing just this screen, first of all, Hovda's 2.5 stars current. She's got amazing potential. She's just not going anywhere. Only 2 career titles. Her rank has gotten inside the top 400, though. She's still got negatives, but it's down to a lot of negative 1s. It's definitely not as bad as it was. She's good technically. She needs the physical and mental development so bad. Her serve is her biggest strength. As for Montgomery, a few net zeros, a few positives in the mental side. Definitely still needs to overcome 2.5 stars, 4 to 5 potential. Poor girl, we are stifling her, but she has slowly risen in the top 100. Nagunye, big mental boosts, almost neutral physical, and we've gotten rid of a lot of the negatives. We are slowly but surely making her at least semi. And look how balanced she is. I mean, that's mostly 10s. And the only 9 she had is now a 10. That says a lot, I suppose. Her serve return, she's very balanced. Look how balanced she is. 2.5 star, 4 to 4.5. She is an early bloomer. She's got some fame, but we've got her playing a little bit better. She has less than a 50% win ratio. Montgomery, 62%, and just under 50 for Hovda. Our last report check-in for King came right back here. So we've gone forward about 2 months. A little bit of progression physically, just 1 training session. Some definite mental progression. That's been at least 2 weeks worth of sessions. And just naturally, we are seeing a bigger rise in the technical than before, without any focused sessions besides the 1 right before the last time we checked. Bonuses have dropped off a little bit. There's a few 1s in there. She's lost 5 points, and I think she was missing 1 before. So she's about 4 points down from where she was. It's a little worrying. You could see that we're getting bigger, better gains, and she's not done yet. But again, I'm going to start getting a little bit more on the technical training for her. I'm nervous about trying to swap out and coach somebody else for a while, because we have a player who's in form, whose morale is good again. I might swap things out and go help others for 3 weeks and then swap back. King this year in the juniors, ignore the 1 senior tournament we tried to qualify for. Lower level, 5 of 5, perfect record. 200 level, 78%, 15 of 19, 6 of 9, not much below. Like 300's been okay, but we had that 1 first round exit, which definitely hurt us. And 1 Grand Slam, she got to the second round. Overall, we're looking at a win percentage that's down 2-3% from last year. It's not a big drop, and we're definitely playing at a higher level consistently compared to last year. So we're doing okay. Just got to watch those first round exits. Hovda, meanwhile, though, is just struggling like crazy. 35% win rate so far this season has dropped her below the 50% career. I did make 1 little run in a recent tournament with her that helped a little bit, but still just cannot get her sorted out. Montgomery, keeping her in some lower level stuff, and it's paying out better. She's winning more. She's more consistent, but somehow still has just mediocre form. She, at the rate she's winning, she should have better form. Like, we're improving her rank. We're getting, right, here's your other rounds, 10, 16. Maybe that's her problem, is she's still losing a few too many early ones, because she's 2 of 3 in quarterfinals. She's 2 for 2 in semifinals and lost 2 finals. Like, she's making some deep runs, but maybe it's a few too many early exits. And meanwhile, Nagunye, 1 win. I can't even hardly get her into a tournament this year. And yet somehow we did build some form for her. It's weird. over the last 12 months, a 2-17 record for Nguyen. 2-17. She has 3 points. Montgomery, meanwhile, over the last year, 58-26, 2 titles, 318,000 in prize money. And that Australian Open, right, second qualifier round, that brought 20 points alone and a good payout. And we're going to do better. We're going to do better on the next one as we qualified proper because our slow rise in rankings. You can see the lower level stuff. She won the lowest level one. She won a Pro 70, and she's made 4 finals at the 60 level. But we get her a little higher up and she starts to struggle. 80 level, 1 run out of 2 tournaments. 100 level has not gone deep. 125 has not gone deep. And yeah, so it's pretty clear I need to keep her in a lot of 60s, which is what I've scheduled her for. Like, she just needs to eke out a victory out of one of those. Hovda definitely doing more than Nguyen, 22-33. She's getting a lot of second rounds, just not consistently, and then she's almost always out by the second round. So it's at least earning her some points and keeping her fairly steady at 400 in the rankings. But her 60 level tournaments, all last year, all first round exits. 70 level, first round exits. It's only in the 25s where she's made any progress, and the deepest run she's had is 4 quarterfinals and 4 second rounds. The rest have all been first round exits. And then when we go down to the lowest level, the 15s, 1 semifinal, couple quarterfinals, and some round of 32s. So I'm thinking maybe, I've been locked in pretty heavily on the 25s for a long time for her, but she's still not making the deep runs. I'm wondering if I need to throw her in some 15s, make it even easier, and have her get some consistent deep runs in those, win or lose. She'll start to pick up some points. She'll get a little bit further, but a lot of her points are coming from these 25s. So definitely her limit, her max right now is a 25. I'm not even looking at anything higher with her. Back over with King and what's scoring her points. 60 level, she hasn't done anything this year, but a win and 60 points no longer even counts towards her ranking. The 100 level stuff, 4 wins there, 100 points each, still count towards the rankings, but all the rest of those do not. And that's not a perfect win rate. She's had 100 level tournament this year and she won it. But that was what I was talking about, of close to 50% would be great. Well, that was close to 50% and we moved on. This year we're doing the 200s and it's coming a little less frequently. A lot of these are 2025, more than half, definitely not all, and only 2 wins, but 200 points for those, 100 points for a semifinal. The 300s, all but 1 has come from this year, 4 out of 5. Bigger points. Dangerous putting her in those, and at least 2 of those I did not mean for her to be in. Made me nervous. But her junior Grand Slam round of 32 was worth 90 points, and that's about the expectation. Get past 1 round with those. Those are okay to have. I need to stay away from the 300s for a bit. I really need to just keep her going on the 200s. She gets deep enough, often enough, to maintain good morale, and maybe I even need to throw in an occasional 100. But I think 200's her home now. Checking in on those finances, how they're doing. We had gotten up to that 80K after spending on the infrastructure and then spent on staff. Dropped to 19, so 20, we'll round that off. 20 down to 22, so we lost 42,000 from February to March. I think I might have had one more higher in February, right, before we went into March. But that's not bad on the losing, like 40K. I think we can kind of just about hang in there with 40K. But going from 22 to 75, that's 53,000 that we lost from March into April. And from 75 to 138 into May, we're talking about a lot. 63 right now, 63,000. We cannot afford to be losing 60K a month. That was what we went through for a stretch last year. It is better than it was, but again, Like if the recovery's not there and we're taking a loan that's got to be repaid, a loan that's hurting the expenses a little bit more, I don't think we can continue as a debt spender long term without at least cutting it down to like this. I'm pretty okay with the 40K loss per month this year. If we can get it down to 50K, it's at least tolerable. But yeah, 60 plus thousand is really bad. And remember, it's going to get harder and harder and harder the rest of the year to not lose money. Of course, the reason being, the further in debt we are, the more interest we pay to the bank. And remember, we have the loan for 500K that we're paying interest on, and now we're paying interest on the debt. And that is going to be what makes it harder and harder, and what could still see us long-term spiral out of control. Yes, we do have some improved infrastructure now and improved income, and the base debt monthly is not as bad, but it kind of is just as bad, right? Because the interest on top of it. The big question becomes, how long is it to repay the loan? Because if we repay the loan over 1 year, and so that next year when we take a loan, it's replacing the old one, and that it's not compounding interest where we're doubling up on it. It's 2 years, 3 years, 4 years loan. If it's a 1 year loan and it's just poof, gone by the end of the year, and we find ourselves in debt by 250K, and we take another 500K loan, and we have 250K again next year, and spend on another, 1 or 2 facility upgrades that are going to do the same thing, put us in the same scenario. Well, when you go into that, a couple things are different. One, we've already added the staff. Do I need to spend on a physio next year if we're in the same scenario, same boat? No. I'm going to go with no. I don't think we need to do that. So I think staff-wise, we're in a much better scenario next year than the start of this year. Those upgrades then, and if we're only just taking on a new loan to replace the old loan and we're back to a positive balance, those facility upgrades will add income that puts us in a better scenario long term, inch by inch. That's the name of the game right now, folks, because we're playing on that hardest setup, and it's tough. 3-year contracts for athletes, a couple really upset athletes. Replacing them may not be easy when those contracts expire after that 3rd year, but that's a long ways off. I'm loving that we're hanging in there, though, because I really thought it was going to spiral out of control, and that's still a possibility. But I'm feeling more secure than a year ago. But we're still not in a good state. We're 138K in debt right now in May. That is going to do it for this episode, though. As you're watching this episode, I'm on vacation right now. So I've got 1 video per day coming out right now. That's it. So I'll see you again 1 week from now, but we'll get back to a regular rate after that. I'm a Decathlon gamer. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Have a good one. Be safe out there. Bye for now.